Well, hello, welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do a mid-December 2022 reading for the sign of Gemini. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Glad to see you here again. So, I'm going to open up the general inquiry. What message does Gemini need to hear for mid-December 2022 as we close out this year? And just an FYI, before I forget, I probably won't get to bonus readings, so this indeed would be the last reading of the year for you, Gemini, from me. Okay, we do have something going on here. I can tell. One more card, or two more. That's perfectly okay. Cards of advice now, please. That's too many. Sorry. Didn't see all the ones stuck underneath there. There we go. That works. That works. One more, please. One more card of advice. Okay, excellent. Let's get started. Seven of Spades, Ace of Clubs. Seven of Spades talks about hidden information that has come to light. It's the removing of covers or, something, again, something being concealed, whether that be information or, I don't know, really it could be anything under the sun. It also talks about separations between people. So usually what's uncovered is not pleasant. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, with the Ace of Clubs, you're looking at a new start that requires or involves acquiring new skills, or again, it's about information. Perhaps in the pursuit that you are on, Gemini, to acquire new skills, information, etc., through research, you're uncovering something that you weren't expecting. It could be as simple as that. You also have the Three of Clubs. The Three of Clubs talks about struggle. There's some kind of outside influence that's causing struggle, because the three denotes some kind of third element or energy involved. It can be about a person in some cases, but we need to uncover more here before we jump to conclusions. The Six of Diamonds talks about options and opportunities presenting themselves to you that will enable you to take financial responsibility in a huge way. I'm kind of getting that you're on this path to perhaps increase your income or pursue just like another income stream altogether. Like you want to get out of the line of work that you're in, which is requiring the acquisition of new skills. And doing that research, you uncovered something that perhaps you see as an obstacle. So that's where this Three of Clubs comes into play. It's like, oh, I didn't know I would have to go through that or have to learn that, or it could be like some kind of investment that you have to make and you're like, not sure if I can swing it. Or acquire like a license, a certification. Interesting. You also have the Ace of Spades, Six of Clubs. So the Ace of Spades is the Tower card in cartomancy. So whatever you are embarking on here, it comes on the heels of something that was shattered, that you're having to rebuild from the foundation. Again, those towers, what it emphasizes, not all gloom and doom, right? It's about rebirth. The Six of Clubs talks about personal growth. So whatever path you're on here in this new start, which is emphasized with the Tower card and the Ace of Clubs there, is leading to growth in some area of your life. Really could be in any area, but I'll just go down the list. Emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually. Whatever skill that you're having to learn. I think that's a very important clue about how you would be growing personally, but it's always about leveling up in some area. You know, you're not going to be the same after going through this process. And the sixes also talk, like I said, with the six of diamonds, the six of club also talks about new opportunities and options. So as you grow in some area, you're going to be presented with more options in your life in general, probably in that area. Okay, we're not doing cards of advice, sorry. I am going to ask for more cards, though, to tell me more about what's going on with you. I instinctively reach for the cards of advice, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever done that. Maybe I'm supposed to go directly to that. We'll see, though. I am going to ask for another card, at least one more, because I don't usually just jump to advice. Four of diamonds. This indicates some kind of windfall. Probably monetary, you know, material gain in some sense. It's also a warning not to overspend. So I'm also seeing, like with the six of diamonds, with this, you know, you being able to take financial responsibility, it might be tied up with this. I don't know, maybe you like were let go from a job, and there was some kind of severance involved, or you were able to cash out, you know, some kind of retirement plan, and so now you have this available, and that maybe that is why you're trying to do something completely different. But I don't see that you're out of the game. I don't see this as a retirement move. I see this as somebody who's very actively seeking a new opportunity to not just learn something new, but put it to use. You know what I'm saying? Queen of Clubs, Six of Spades. Interesting, the Queen of Clubs popped out here. I'll give you my little speech. Every sign except for one that I noticed has gotten the Queen of Clubs in December for both readings. I do some readings at the beginning of December and mid-December. And she's come out every time, and sometimes she's in the advice column, and sometimes she's just down here in the cards. And I think she represents kind of what the world needs right now. Well, not the world. I'm not going to say the whole world. But because we're in the holiday season, she represents a gentle authority figure who's very generous and supportive. I just feel like it's an energy of we all need to be a little kinder to each other during the holiday season, especially with the way the world is going these days, right? There's just people going through all kinds of struggles. There's all kinds of natural disasters. The price of everything has gone up. Everything's just become so much more intense than it was even a decade ago. Anyway, I kind of see it as that energy. It could represent a fire sign in your circle here, though. A Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Now, at the Six of Spades, again, you're looking at options and opportunities presenting themselves to you, but the Six of Spades in particular talks about something destined and fated. This path you're on, and I'm not clear what it is, I just think it's related to something financial, income-wise, in your life, was fated to happen this way. So to me, it's also an indication you're on the right path. You know, because when destiny comes into play, it's like, obviously you're doing something right. Again, with that fire sign energy, that may have something to do with it. That may represent a person. You also got the Eight of Spades. Now, this talks about going through a period of very hard work. It's the workaholic card. It's like being asked to work a crazy amount of hours, for example, and it causing stress, physically, emotionally, all of the above. Could also indicate there was trouble with somebody in a work situation, but the card basically is a call to relieve the stress, which is why I think if you haven't left this job situation, you're figuring out how to with this process I just outlined here. I think there's a very clear message that you're in this position, Gemini, where you need to change up what you do for a living. Whatever that means, however that fits your situation. This is a general reading, so it can mean a whole different a whole bunch of different things for different people, right? It's not a one shoe fits all kind of situation at all, but it requires acquiring new skill, which is, again, I think key to this. I just got with the Seven of Spades about uncovering information that was hidden. Perhaps you're acquiring the new skill because you figured out something about where you work or the type of work you do that you're not happy with. Yeah. Actually, that's clicking for me with this. My intuition is very much being pulled in that direction, and that's what's causing the strife and the trouble. Okay. Kind of changes a little bit of the theme. I still think it's very much wrapped up into finance and income. Anyway, I also got the Three of Diamonds, the Jack of Clubs. Again, with the Jack of Clubs, could be a younger fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, it's a supportive, usually more of a friend, whereas the Queen, she's got some authority, some power, but the Jack is not so much so on that level. It's more somebody with inexperience, someone who's younger, but they're very supportive. Again, I always see the Jack as kind of a friend, representing somebody like that. Let's just put it that way. The Three of Diamonds, there's some confusion around money matters. Now, the Jack also has an element of generosity about it. It could be that with this new income or this little bit of a windfall you have, it's a position you're not used to being in. Perhaps you want to be generous somehow and show gratitude. Boy, what a story that just popped into my head. And you're not quite sure how to do that. Like maybe you're not sure of the charity that you want to contribute to. And you don't have experience with it. So this may not be a person. This could be an energy that you are experiencing, that you're embodying at the moment. And that confusion, there's a key element of you're not sure which way to go with it. Right? I'm going to go ahead and now open up your cards of advice because I think we kind of have a clear picture of you possibly still in a stressful work situation. You're trying to get yourself out of it. In the meantime, you are going through a little bit of struggle. But I think ultimately it's going to lead to new financial opportunities and personal growth. That Tower also tells me that I think you're coming out of a work situation that just wasn't healthy in some manner. Very strong indication of that. Okay? And this was destined. Anyway, let's go. Let's look at advice. King of Spades, Six of Hearts. You got all the sixes out here, I think. Well, yeah, you do. Yeah, you're in this place in your life, Gemini, where you are just coming up with all kinds of options, and there's like paths that you can take. It's probably a little bit overwhelming, honestly, because when I see that many sixes, it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of a shifty energy. It's like, geez, with that many options, it's almost like it's like having a menu at a restaurant that has too many choices, right? Anyway, the Six of Hearts talks about the road being clear in relationships. That if you want to pursue relationships, can be romantic or they don't necessarily have to be, but it means that you're not carrying around any baggage. The King of Spades could be, well, it could be you. It could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it could be you. The King, I'll just tell you, I mean, the King is usually somebody who's at odds with somebody else, like, so they're causing a problem because they're not on the same page. It's not like they intentionally cause problems, but sometimes, people just disagree, and therefore there's a discord. The King does have power and authority, and the King does represent control in some manner. You might be at odds with pursuing relationships, like, because with the Six of Hearts, it's this kind of, okay, what does that king represent in this case? Maybe you're protecting yourself to the degree that you're blocking these opportunities. I don't know. Let's keep going with cards of advice. Yeah, you're at some kind of crossroads, definitely. It could very well do with those relationships there. I also think, well, I mean, there's some decisiveness. I think it's indicated here that you know the career path you want to pursue. I do think for some reason it's giving you advice in relationship. I don't know, maybe that's key because it's going to help this process you're going through of getting something started. That would make a lot of sense, actually, because networking is very important in the business world, right? It doesn't matter what kind of business it is. Sometimes you just got to know somebody who knows somebody, the friend of a friend, for example. The Five of Spades talks about breakup. Change is coming. I don't think it's relationship. I think it's this work situation. Often with the Five of Spades, it's also unforeseen. The changes are kind of coming out of nowhere and they're being forced upon you. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody's forcing you out of a job. I mean, that's always a possibility, but it could also be that you feel like you have to for personal reasons, right? It's not fulfilling your needs anymore, so you're being forced out in that sense. And the Three of Spades. Okay, so you do have a lot of heavy energy around this. This talks about a lot of worry and physical stress. So whatever, you know how I'm reading this? Again, I'm looking at this. I do think that you have some kind of mental or emotional block that's preventing you from pursuing the relationships, again, that are going to help you probably in more than one way, not just business, but personally, because also we had the personal growth, right? And the Five of Spades emphasizes the breakup, like being cut off. And then, oh, I didn't mention, I'm sorry, with the Eight of Clubs. Not only is this like this can be a crossroads decision, it's about being stuck on some kind of idea, being stubborn. Like you won't move from one mindset into the new mindset. And I think what it's saying is that's what's causing your trouble here. Your worry, your stress. So that could be key to getting this going. Anyway, let's ask for more cards of advice. That's kind of complicated. It's complicated for me to explain, but I see it. I definitely see it. Relationships seem to be key, in whatever form they take. Seven of Hearts. You're afraid of being disappointed, let down. I think in the past, there was somebody who let you down, probably in this work situation. Maybe this just represents the disappointment in the work situation in general. Maybe it wasn't a particular person. But that's like, I call it the heartbreak card. And it doesn't necessarily mean heartbreak in the sense that it's romantic or love involved. It's just, somebody didn't fulfill their promises to you in some way. It could be as simple as that. The Nine of Spades, again, this is a completion, and there's a loss involved with this. I like to see this in cards of advice because I feel like it's behind you. Whatever loss and disappointment came along, yeah, it's also about disappointment. That's behind you. And these two together, yeah, that's not a good place to be in. I mean, that's just like the person who has the worst luck in the world and they feel like the whole world's against them. And they're feeling hurt. More cards of advice, please, for Gemini. Jack of Hearts. You're being advised if you don't already have your heart open to new opportunities, and I don't think you do because of that King of Spades. I really do think you're standing in your own way. This is advising you to be more open. The Jack of Hearts, again, is young and inexperienced energy, but I also see it as the vulnerability card. So when your heart is open, yeah, you're going to be vulnerable. A degree of vulnerability is going to be required for you to move ahead. That's what I'm hearing. You could be involved, there could be a younger water sign involved, a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, but no, I think that's your advice. Gemini, unfortunately, you're going to have to kind of humble yourself. It's kind of like humbling yourself and saying, okay, I'm letting go of control, because that King is all about control. And look, you got the Queen of Hearts. Okay, kind of puts it on a different perspective in a couple of ways. The first thing I'd like to mention is the Queen of Hearts is kind of this mothering energy. She is nurturing. She's a good guiding force. She has your best interests at heart. The other interesting thing about her, and again, it's a water energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The other interesting is she came out with the Jack of Hearts, and this almost always means, and I do not see it very often, but when I was studying cartomancy, it was emphasized. This always represents someone you will be in a romantic relationship with. You may not know them already. This may be somebody that you're going to meet. What did I say here? You need to release the control, and you need to possibly meet this person. Now, this person may not be involved with business. It's okay. It's just that for some higher purpose, you need to have this person involved in your life. And I think, again, you're standing in your own way. Yeah, you are going to meet that person if you let go of that control. But you're feeling hurt. You're feeling hurt from the past. The Nine of Spades, in this case, my perspective is changing slightly, that it may not be about the work situation. It may be that you had a past heartbreak, which represents this control. And over here, it's like you're determined to stay single. Perhaps this is a determination, but again, that represents kind of a stubbornness about it, a fixed mindset. Can't be changed, can't be swayed in any direction. And it's very possible this Five of Spades is about that breakup with that person. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to leave it there, but let me review this just a little bit with you before I sign off here. What I'm getting is that, again, meeting a special someone, and I do think it's romantic, is key to your success, because generally when we have some kind of barrier or blockage in one area of our life, it can affect other areas of our life, because all of the energy is going into, no, I'm keeping love away from me, I'm not getting involved in it with anybody, nobody can be trusted. I mean, the list goes on. Your reasons for not letting someone get close to you, right? People build up huge, massive walls in all kinds of ways, and they have all kinds of excuses. But you're putting so much energy into that, this is not going to take off. You hear me? This is not going to happen. Whatever you're trying to acquire here with this new start. Yeah. And with this, sorry, not picking them up well, but here we go. With this Tower card and the Six of Clubs, you need this personal growth to happen. And I think that's what it's about. It's about opening yourself up to love. I can't say it any other way. That's the most direct way of saying you need to open yourself up to companionship in some form, whatever form that takes for you. You know, we all have different needs. This doesn't have to be the romance of a century. It's just like you need this energy to be free. I'm going to stop there, and if you want to see when the next reading comes out, it may pick up where we left off here, very likely, because this is not resolved, right? Go ahead and hit subscribe notifications, or if you want to save my video so you can find my channel again. And just check in with me. The next reading will probably be around the first of the year. If I can fit in a bonus, I will. But I'm not seeing that that's probably going to happen. So I just don't want to let anybody down. So I'm just saying up front, enjoy your holidays. Happy New Year if I don't see you until then. And take care until I see you again.